Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin with a quick little comparison for you. Which coin is upside right? Okay, that's actually not what we're doing here. I have two trade dollars to show to you that are a little bit different. They're both a little bit rough, and one of these things is not like the other. And they're pretty fascinating to me. So what I'm going to show you today is something that I would call a contemporary counterfeit. Okay, so what we want to look at is really on these at the beginning of things. We just want to look at the details on the coins, things like the stars, the denticles, some of the finer points on here, and compare them one to the other. And what you'll see is that this coin here, this basically looks like it's sea salvage. This coin on the right, this 1878. Now you'll see the date's a little bit, what I like to use the technical term, wonky. The date is a little wonky. Other than that, the denticles look not too shabby. And then the stars, look at the hand detail. Like that's a lot of really good detail on this coin. And so when you look at these at first, this is deceptive in lots of ways. So when I use the term contemporary counterfeit, what I mean is that it's a counterfeit that has not been made, that was made at the same time as the coins were circulating. And so there's a whole different process than what we see today. Most of the coins that we see today that come out of China through Mexico and however they get here, those coins, a lot of them are like really, really obviously not real. Like the size will be wrong, the weight will be wrong. So a couple things. First of all, you want to make sure you have a loop so you can look close enough for details. Second, if you have a coin to compare it to, that never really hurts. It's always good to look at some of the differences on these two coins. Now, the reading on the edge of the original coin, which is the one on the left, actually has the denticles almost, I said denticles again, the reading almost flares out on the edges like they shape an eye, like the letter I, whereas the ones on the right are almost more like a gearbox, just straight, right? So you see the little bit of flare on the left. The ones on the right are like longer and straighter. Also, this one on the right, this is all about having technical tools. The one on the right is slightly larger, almost microscopically, but you look at the diameter, and the diameter is just like spot on. So this is one of the rare occasions where if you saw this coin just in a flip at a show somewhere, you might not look twice at it because you might say, boy, that just looks like it's kind of rough or sea salvaged. So what we're going to do next is I have something called an omega here that people use. They put it over the top, and for it to be silver, it'll stop at the brackets will stop. Let me use words. This bar will stop in between these two brackets. So let's go ahead and put on the counterfeit. And when you see the arrow pushing outside, it means that it's not registering the right amount of metal or material. So it's helpful to have those. Those, by the way, the sigmas, I just got them wrong. I called it an omega. The sigmas are always good to have, but then also, a little pocket scale like this is like 20 bucks nowadays. They're not that expensive and they're pretty good. I'm on a soft surface, so this might be off 0.1, 0.01 to, yeah, so 100 grams, but 999.98. So when you take your original coin on here, you're going to see it's going to be 27, give or take, right? And then we're going to go ahead and do the Indiana Jones things. Dun, 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 dun. Woo! 19.2. Now that was something I couldn't get through the video without using the scale. I can feel the difference because there's such a dramatic difference. So I kind of recommend, you don't necessarily need to buy a Sigma, but it doesn't hurt. These little pocket scales are pretty inexpensive. Last and least, because I don't usually recommend you do this, this coin already has some rim bumps on it. Guys do the ping test, which I don't really necessarily approve of. There's some apps that are supposed to do a ping test. I've seen them. They don't work well, in my opinion, just because you have to be in a completely silent room for it to work properly. So if you're at a coin show, you won't be able to hear anything. I mean, it won't register properly, but hear how I don't know if you'll be able to hear it because I'm not listening to the audio yet, but hear how the ring stops. This one, it kind of just keeps going. I don't know if that's going to pick up or not, but this silver rings like silver. This is a little bit tinnier of a sound, but really you can see there's so many different things that go into being able to identify a counterfeit, and especially when one is actually from the time period and is well done. The dimensions are right, the details are good, relatively speaking, and but it helps if you have the right tools. Really always a loop helps, and then after the loop, you know, I think having a pocket scale is really a big thing because the weights are usually going to be pretty right on. So anyway, I hope that helps you just get a little bit of an understanding of some of the things that you can look for on a coin. Usually the details, and this coin is struck really well, but the reading on the edge is off, the dimensions are off, the weight is off, and the metal is off. So there's lots of little things that we know, but some of them are harder to tell unless you have the tools to do it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.